Well, it depends on the level of the tender the Broncos give Phillip Lindsay. If they give him a second round tender, then I think he's back. But if they decide to go for the right of first refusal level tender, which is, I believe, like $1.3 million below the second round tender, then I think someone's going to pluck Phillip Lindsay and he's going to be moving on. It's interesting because Lindsay dealt with an injury, missed some time last year, but it seemed like he never really got into the flow of things with Pat Shermer, and that as time went on, Shermer uh, tended to lean on Melvin Gordon a little bit more. I know they wanted to get Philip Lindsay more involved in the passing game than he was. Lindsay had some drops, something that was a problem in 2019. The other thing that comes up with Philip Lindsay is that he's a willing blocker, but at his
Oh yeah.
size, at sub 200 pounds, a smaller back, you see him get in there and he'll put his body in there and he'll try. I mean, it's not like he has any fear. That's the thing I love about Phil. Frankly, is he's one of the most fearless backs in terms of taking on a rusher or going headlong into a stacked box. He's one of the most fearless backs I've ever seen, despite his size. But that size does offer limitations on what he can do as a blocker, and that bore itself out. And Pat Shermer wants his running back to be able to have some responsibilities in pass pro. That's something that Royce Freeman can do reasonably well. It's something Melvin Gordon can do well enough. And so that's where you start saying, okay, is it just a case where there's not really room in this scheme for Philip Lindsay? That's, I think, what we're going to find out here, depending based on what the RFA tender is. Now, Gordon has a DUI trial coming up, and if he's convicted, he faces a multi-game suspension, and that, to
Oh yeah.
me, would be reason to give Phil that second round
Yep.
tender, knowing that you were covered at running back no matter what.